Yeah, because now he could be facing some serious jail time and now that he's been charged with felony possession of cocaine and also marijuana candy.
So we should explain this. We're going to go back to the day of the raids.
Day of the raids, as the houses, Diddy's houses are being raided. He is at Miami's Opa-locka Airport, about to get on his private jet, and they are stopped by the cops there.
So here's the shot of the jet.
Yes.
Now we'll show you. Actually, Brendan Paul is there.
He's in handcuffed there, being walked away. Diddy's in the blue pants, and the state officials took him aside.
And they have charged him with possession of cocaine and marijuana candy. Now, this carries a pretty hefty prison sentence. And the question, why is Florida jumping like this to charge this 25-year-old?
Yeah, no, this is a huge development in this case because, as you said, during that raid, officials say they found the marijuana-laced candies and the cocaine. What he's been charged with is possession of cocaine, which, according to these charging documents, is a third-degree felony, and he faces up to 5 years in prison. That's how they've charged it, as a third-degree felony. And he faces...
Now, the update on this is that... And let me play the recent update, which is, where are we at with it? Give me 1 second. The update is like, he's getting a slap on the wrist, right? You know, here we go. Sorry. Perfect.
I firmly believe the feds are watching everybody in Diddy's universe.
And people are thinking, you know, is this guy Brendan Paul, did he flip? Is he already going to be working for the feds, so they're making sure his state case kind of go away? He's not going to get charged federally, but they're probably holding some shit over his head, saying you're only not going to get charged if you're going to help us put Diddy in jail. Listen to what happened to his state case, right?
P. Diddy's alleged drug mule will not face jail time after reaching a plea agreement with prosecutors in Florida. But could the feds still be on his tail?
If Brendan Paul ends up in a more serious situation, they can use that as leverage to try to find out more information about what went on with Diddy's parties and at Diddy's homes.
This is 25-year-old Brendan Paul. He's a former Syracuse University basketball player, but he's better known off the court.
Okay, let's skip through this to hear what's happened to his thing. Here we go.
Paul's attorney, Brendan Bieber, released this statement in regard to the plea. Quote, Brendan accepted the prosecution.
Okay, here's the plea. Sorry.
Quiet in Diddy's world for long. On March 27th, just 2 days after those federal raids, Brendan Paul was arrested at the airport in Miami while trying to board Diddy's private jet.
If you're Brendan Paul, right before the feds take you away, you see the feds coming in, what's the number that Diddy got to tell you to stay quiet? Because remember, you the one bringing the party favors, so you probably know about the freak offs. You bring in the fun. You bring in the cocaine. Do people take ketamine, the weed? You bring in, you know what I mean, the fucking LSD, acid, Molly, like perks, Xanax, whatever the fuck they be doing. Shit. So you probably seen some shit or probably know some knowledge of some shit. You probably know some dates. Maybe you got like some text messages or whatever. Oh, niggas is saying 5 mil? You keep quiet? Somebody says 3.5 mil. Y'all niggas are specific with the numbers. How much hey, keep in mind, you're a fucking drug dealer, okay? Like, you're a basketball player whose career didn't go anywhere. You're a fucking drug dealer. You're not the moral police here. You're not like, oh, no, finally Diddy is going to get, there's going to be justice for the bitches he's beat. No, you're like, fuck it. I guess I'm done flying on these private jets and serving and having the cocaine like lit up for all these people. How could I still get a bag and probably hold it down for Diddy a little bit? And Diddy probably says, yo, I just need you to shut the fuck up. Don't tell him nothing. Now, that might put you in jail for a couple years, possibly, right? Because if you're not dealing with, if you're not operating with the feds, they're like, you might go to jail. What's that money, that dollar amount that Diddy would have to promise you?
Paul was arrested and charged with cocaine and marijuana possession, but the latter charge was quickly dropped. Just this week, there's been movement in his case in the way of a plea deal. The bottom line, Brendan Paul will not face jail time.
And he would have been facing 5 years in prison.
That's former prosecutor Melba Pearson, who previously worked in the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office, the same one that brought charges against Paul. As she explains, Paul's plea deal included something called a diversion program.
But since he did not have anything in his past, he didn't have a criminal history, he was offered what was called diversion. And what that does is that it gives you the opportunity for participation in a program for 6 months. If you don't get arrested again, if you complete the program, so it could be drug therapy, it could be counseling, it could be community service, it could be any of a number of things, it just could be a fine. You comply, you do all of that, and then after 6 months, the charges get dropped against you, meaning that you don't have anything on your criminal record in terms of a conviction. The rest will still be on your record. You'll have to disclose that if you're, let's say you do a job application and they ask whether or not you've been arrested, you have to answer yes. But if they ask you if you've been convicted, you can check no, which is, again, a huge thing in terms of collateral consequences and being able to move forward with your life after interaction with the criminal justice system.
Paul's attorney, Brendan Bieber, released this statement in regard to the plea, quote, Brendan accepted the prosecutor's offer to permit his entry into the diversion program, which, after completion, the case against him will be dismissed in its entirety. The Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office also made a statement saying the plea was a, quote, standard offer to a nonviolent defendant with no priors, who was arrested for a possession case instead of a much more serious trafficking case. From the time Brendan Paul was arrested.
So, again, this is raising some red flags because they're like, yo, this guy's getting off with a slap on the wrist. But that's stateside. Now, people believe that this is a hint to mean, yo, the feds has this guy working. That's going to be also interesting, right?
In late March to now, it hasn't been that long, about 2 months. Are you surprised at how quickly things were wrapped up?
I'm not incredibly surprised because, again, this is something that happened in Miami. This is an office that I used to work for, and I remember the volume of cases I had when I was a prosecutor, especially a line prosecutor handling that level of felony. So that is a normal outcome. That's not very bizarre. And actually, to put a finer point on it, I don't think that he had to testify or do anything else in exchange for the plea, right? Normally, if we see a case wrap up.
Well, and so she's saying that she don't think he's snitching. Here's the thing, though. Well, that is state court. And this is the thing about the law, right? The state and the feds could charge you for the same thing, right? And oftentimes they're almost in bed with each other, knowing who's going to go for the more serious crimes. Usually, from what we've seen, they allow the feds to take precedence with that, supposedly because the feds have a lot more resources, a lot more money to really fund case investigations, this and third, which, again, if we're thinking that he might be in this, like, racketeering empire organization that they're building out for Diddy as the guy who provides the drugs to help the freak officer, he provides the drugs for the women to, like, stay unconscious or, you know, stay intoxicated, whatever the case is, he would still be in the feds, you know, focus. And maybe, you know, he's working for the feds for maybe like a proffer. Like they probably did a proffer session and maybe like he has to do a few things or he has to testify later on. And his state case is just going to go away, which also kind of doesn't bring too much attention to him because, you know, I learned this from The Wire. I mean, some of y'all are probably street news in here. Yo, if the cops came, if all y'all selling drugs on the corner and the cops come and everybody go to jail and one nigga don't go to jail, you're thinking that nigga's working with the cops, okay? Usually they say even a person, even when they're trying, like a law enforcement officer or a snitch or a CI or whatever is buying drugs and it's like a controlled buy or whatever the case is, they're going to tell the cops, you better lock me up too, because they're going to think I told. You know what I mean? You let me out at the station, but you got to lock me up too. I got to look like I'm really in this shit, right? So the way how this is turning out, it's like, oh, okay, this guy, like, he's getting the same treatment as anyone. But except, the feds are looking at him, and the feds are probably going to try to twist that arm.
This quickly, that would be the first thing that
Somebody said, ain't no way you learned it from a TV show. Bro, what do you think, I'm selling drugs in a corner? No. Where the hell would I learn that from?
I'd be asking, like, oh, okay, what else did you do in exchange for that favorable plea? But looking at his history, looking at the volume of cases, and also looking at the severity of the charge, in the universe of things, it's not trafficking. It's literally possession of cocaine, with an argument that could have been made that.
Okay. And she's talking about just basic evidentiary shit that was found, right? It's not necessarily trafficking. He didn't get on the plane, right? He didn't have intent to get on the plane, but he didn't get on the plane yet before they stopped him. But here's the thing. He probably got on the plane mad time. He's on Mad Manifest before, and even if they don't have him having drugs on the plane at that point, they probably could have somebody else that corroborated that this motherfucker has been bringing drugs from point A to point B. So again, like, state police is not going to try to build a big-ass investigation just around this one guy. The feds, that's their thing. The feds is going to have this bigger investigation of, no, it's not just him having drugs at the airport. This is a pattern of trafficking because he's done it like mad times before, and we've been surveilling him before. We have access to FAA logs and all these other things that showcases this nigga constantly being on the jet with Diddy.
This was for personal use. I wasn't trying to resell it. I wasn't trying to, take it overseas or make money off of it. This is just, for me to party this weekend, right? When you look at it from that perspective.
By the way, and I know I'm a little scatterbrained because I know sometimes these things get tedious, and I don't want you guys to get bored and just be like, all right, what's next? Yo, they just put out a list. This list is crazy. They said this is a list of celebrities who's been supporting Diddy recently. They said all these people are in Diddy's comments condoning this shit. Here's his list. Number 1, Scrappy. And I guess that's Little Scrappy, right? I think he's a Love and Hip Hop star at this point. You got Stevie J. Well, he works with the Hitman and he works with Diddy to make music. So I would imagine he would, hey, his bread is getting buttered over there. No Diddy, like, all pun intended, right? Meek Mill. Okay, all right. I think that's explanatory. Somebody said that audio of allegedly Meek and Diddy has been burned in their mind for life. So number 4 says Carisha. Okay. Somebody says Kalina from Dirty Money. Somebody says Fat Joe. Somebody says Busta Rhymes. Somebody says Miss Hilton. Is Miss Hilton? That's his baby mama. Which, of course, what's she gonna do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, she has a kid with him, and probably she doesn't work, and all the financial funding for not only her kid but probably her lifestyle comes from Diddy. Erykah Badu. She I don't think she gives a fuck. You know what I mean? I'll be very honest. I remember when everybody was saying X is a bad guy, this and third, and she was just like, fuck all that. I love X. Like, so I think she's just an independent thinker. But we see Bia, Rico Love, Joel Santana, which recently, we're going to get to talk about that too, Chad. Yo, because if I didn't name today's stream what I named it as, what I was going to name it was, does Drake have any real friends? It's no way that Joel Santana is the only person who has given like a really firm, and no Diddy on this, firm like co-sign of Drake giving all this shit. Everybody else is either quiet or they're just acting like they don't know what's going on. So I was going to name the stream, does Drake got any real friends? Because I've never seen a time where a nigga do need a friend, and now one of his niggas says, yo, I'm only here to just tell y'all are fucking weird for even trying to put that jacket on my man. That's my man's, and me and him been in Turks, and we fucked 15,000 bitches, and none of them, we ain't hear that at all. And Carl Thomas. Oh, shit. They're having the Who Support Diddy list. This is crazy. All right.
If the outcome, the resolution, the plea makes a lot of sense and is not outside of the norm.
We have to pause this Brendan Paul story for just a sec to give you a law and crime legal.
In and harming people. I think that distinction would have been problematic if there was some discussion of him harming people. Then he may not have gotten a diversion plea. He may have gotten something along the lines of probation, and maybe there would have been more pressure on him to testify against Diddy in any investigation. Again, that's not to say that the feds can't call him up and say, we need to talk to you. That can happen at any point in time, separate and distinct from this case.
Is it possible that investigators asked Brendan Paul anything about Diddy, or would they not even ask at all because it was completely unrelated?
I think that it's two unrelated investigations, right? So he was caught.
Okay, and again, we're gonna kind of keep going back to this. Maybe it's my ADHD a bit. Yo, you know what's also kind of viral or getting some attention right now? This is kind of crazy. So the former Love and Hip Hop star Rocky Thunder. She used to be on a reality show, Love and Hip Hop. I think when Joe Budden was on it, and like Tahiri and what's the other girl's name? Kaylin Garcia. She tweeted out, she says, everyone that has made $1 in this industry knew that man was fucking her up and others. They said, y'all knew Diddy wasn't shit, but y'all was too busy sucking it for bum deals that you went Silence of the Lambs on it. Sick fucks. Then she tweets out the video, and she says, I had a conversation with Van Lathan in 2019 and told him about Diddy abuse, and he said he wouldn't touch it because that was his friend. Then he called Joe Budden to tell him where his baby mama was hiding from him. Ah, the days. 2024, the year of the truth. And he says, I walk with God, I'm and relax. You kind of get where this is getting to, right? This is about to be like a really nasty web of tying a lot of different people of either saying you're complicit because you didn't speak up or you didn't platform people that were speaking up, or it's going to be like, yo, well, what about this other guy? And we say he's been abusive to blah, blah, blah. And, so it's my boy Van Lathan, he responded. Van actually responded by saying, what did he say? Okay. He said, where? He said this. I've spoken to Rocky. Oh my God, Jesus Christ, nigga wrote a fucking book. So I've spoken to Rocky and addressed both things in the order that are being brought up. Around 2018, 2019, I was hosting a podcast called The Red Pill. Around that time, Rocky came to me, wanted to do 2 separate interviews. The first one was with Gina Hua, a longtime friend of Diddy's. At the time, she had gone on Tasha K's platform and accused Diddy of abuse. I passed on the interview. I passed because honestly, it's not now or not has it ever been the type of thing I do. Also, my podcast was in partnership with TMZ. You can't let someone come on that type of platform and just lob allegations. You're exposed to a lawsuit. If there's evidence, photos, and videos, that gives you more latitude, but I hadn't seen that. When I declined the interview with Rocky, I mentioned I'd known Diddy for around a year at that point. He'd been trying to get me to come work at Revolt. I had to tell her that because if she finds out later, what? When I declined the interview with Rocky, I also mentioned I had known Diddy around a year at that point. He'd been trying to get me to come work at Revolt. I had to tell her that because if she finds out later, it looks bad. Also, when I asked people around Diddy about what I heard, and I did, they said that I would have looked like a fool for doing an interview because she would be 100%, she would 100% be next to him again. I want to make something clear. This had nothing to do with Cassie. The first time I'd heard any allegations surrounding Cassie was lawsuit. The first time I'd seen any evidence was the disgusting video today. The only time I'd ever in life heard of Diddy assaulting a woman was that one in Tasha K's interview 9 years ago, in 9 years of being a TMZ. Really? Wow. So if Rocky feels like she was trying to say something and I wasn't listening, I apologize. In my time at TMZ, I turned down so many interviews, stories, tell-alls. It was like second nature. I watched the entire Tasha K interview and decided the interview wasn't for me. As far as me letting her know I had a relationship with him, I thought I had to. I might have communicated in that way that didn't do me any favors. Some months after Rocky contacted me again to have Sin Santana come on the show. Sin and Joe had just broken up. And Rocky said she wanted to come on the show to discuss her music. I was thinking about doing it. To Rocky's credit, she communicated clearly she wanted this interview to have nothing to do with their breakup. I couldn't see doing an interview and not asking about it. It wouldn't make any sense. Since I knew I had to ask about it, I hit Joe to let him know she would be on, and the call didn't go great. At the end of it, decided the interview wasn't for me. Too much drama. Sorry. And once again, I'd have been chasing clicks. I was never told Sin was hiding from Joe. I was never told there was allegations of abuse in the relationship. I was never even told the nature of their split. If the ex-spouse of anyone I know decides they want to do an interview with me, I'm definitely calling the person I know unless I'm told not to. That's professional courtesy. Unless I'm given information, it's a dangerous situation. Rocky says that by alerting Joe, I alerted him that they were in California for interviews, thus telling an alleged abusive spouse where his baby mama was. Only I didn't know any of that. But once again, I'm sorry to have played any part in it. I should have just declined the interview and said nothing. Last thing, Rocky is a decent lady who had this industry show her its ass. She's been abandoned and kicked around like a lot of sisters have. I have no ill will towards her because of her tweet today, but it wasn't all fair. I've done nothing to have my name connected to that video today, to sex trafficking, to drugging or assaulting women. I've never participated in or given cover to anyone I know to be doing that over the last 5 years. Rocky and I have talked here and there, and I was never even given an inkling she felt this way about me, but it's an opportunity to reevaluate how you think you're showing up and how you actually are. God damn it. My boy Van Lathan got on his eloquence tip, bro. Jesus Christ. All right. Okay, all right. I'm trying to see if he said anything more important. Okay. They say, if you're defending me, don't. Seriously, I really have no idea what I've done to deserve this, but universe don't make mistakes. I'm out. Yo, Van, man. Yo, brother. I get we in like this like weird time, man. Bruh. Yo, man. I wish I would be on social media and tell people, nah, don't defend me. Oh, hell out of here. Hell out of here. Like, listen, Van, if you ain't do nothing, you ain't do nothing, gang. Salute to Rocky, though, but, you know, if you ain't do nothing, you ain't doing nothing. Yo, Van is such a good guy, but I think he's scared like that woke mob. He's like, yo, y'all can just attack me. It's okay. Oh, hell nah. Hell nah, nigga. I didn't do them interviews not because I'm trying to suppress nothing. I ain't do them because I didn't want to get messy. That's it. That's all you got to say, bro. You ain't got to apologize to nothing. Yo, these days, you almost got to, like, apologize to all these people. It's like, bruv. Like, bruv, bro, they're going to, yo, let me tell you this. The biggest sin in 2024 is being born with a goddamn cock. You feel me? Like, anything you do is you're suppressing somebody's voice. You're abusive. You're complicit. Like, nigga, bruh, I'm telling you, nigga, bruh. Don't be... I don't like when the dudes just start copping pleas all over the place. Like, no, I'm sorry. No! You get what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying, like, maybe if you did some shit, but, bruh, people misunderstanding you? Like, Jesus Christ, dog. Anyway, Van, my guy. I'm telling you, bro. Okay. Anyway, let me see what else they've been talking about with this shit. All right, back to this shit right here. This is about like this drug mule. I think we're all believing that, yo, this dude is working, bro. This dude is somehow working.
To decide if they want to question him and how they want to question him with regards to Diddy and the sexual assault allegations.
That leads to my next question, because Brendan Paul's arrest happened just days after these federal raids at two of Diddy's homes. And we know that Brendan Paul was arrested by Miami-Dade officials and Homeland Security, the same people who performed the raids at Diddy's homes. Do those two things relate at all? Is it possible that Homeland Security was keeping an eye on Diddy?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. This is a matter of trying to catch everybody they can in his universe. And again, use that as an opportunity to put pressure on him in terms of getting him to cooperate with the investigation, or again, just trying to figure out what he actually did, when he did it, and what charges can be filed against him. So it's connected from that perspective. But again, I don't see the Miami-Dade Police Department questioning him about what's happening with Diddy. That would be up to Homeland Security, basically federal agents who would be leading that particular investigation.
Paul's attorney says he's already part of the...
Yo, they are like... They so devious with like pulling up like these quote unquote receipts. Then they now pulled up a receipt where they're like, yo, they said Diddy had the nerve. They said Diddy had the nerve to thank Cassie in his 2022 BET Achievement Award. And by the way, I'm gonna tell you when I'm gonna actually, even though I do think like it's kind of over. And when I mean over, like Diddy's still gonna be rich. Like, don't get me wrong, he's still gonna have some type of role, probably in the music business or entertainment business somehow. Just maybe not as forward facing. When I say over for Diddy, it's like you're going to jail, right? Like that's what I would be like, yo, it's over. I think that would happen. Remember when Bill Cosby, all of his like honorary degrees started getting revoked? Like all the places this is like a customary thing. Like some of these celebrities go do speeches at these like universities for commencement. They'll get an honorary degree.
Consistency,
you know, as a doctor or whatever.
doesn't guarantee.
Because, you know, they either donated money there or whatever the case is. Has Howard? I think Diddy went to Howard, right? Like, what college did Diddy go to? What college did Diddy go to? He went to Howard, right? Don't he has like some Diddy honorary degree Howard? Yeah, in 2014 he received an honorary doctorate. Yeah, you know it's about it. You know it's like damn near over. When they rescind this, saying yo we taking our shit back. That's what they did to Bill Cosby. Remember when you couldn't stop seeing that? Bill Cosby rescind honorary degree. Look, 42 universities on the status. Look, on the status of Bill Cosby. What the fuck? Monthly article limit. What the fuck? Oh, niggas is tweaking over here. Look, Yale pulls honorary degree. Oh, these are the colleges. Here we go. Look, all of them revoked this shit. Cincinnati, Yale, Notre Dame, Boston College, Temple, Carnegie Mellon, Johns Hopkins, Amherst. Like it was a bunch. Is Howard in there? All right, nah, there ain't no Howard in there. But yeah, all of these, they all revoked his honorary degrees. And if that happens to Diddy, man, I mean, that would be like signs of, yeah, that nigga's going to jail.
Combs' sense of abuse.
Yo, the way Diddy ran out, bro, I'm not even trying to make light of this. Like no bullshit. That nigga ran out like it was like 1v20. Y'all remember this? Yeah, right here. This is how that nigga ran out. This is how this nigga Diddy ran out. Look.
The ring is filled with both members of all the coalition, and all hell has broken loose on Raw. And the WWF looks like it's being arena. The Hollies are outnumbered. Hardcore.
Look, I ain't gonna lie. This was the craziest shit ever. Look how Stone Cold pulled up. This nigga was wildin'. This nigga drank about 20 beers and pulled up with a pool stick and whipped ass straight.
Hammered on the concrete.
Look,
Wait a minute.
nigga pulled up in a pickup truck, nigga. This is how Diddy popped out. I kid you not, nigga.
There's Stone Cold.
Look, that's how Diddy popped out. Look.
Stone Cold is beat the hell out of ECW.
He threw Dementor outfit?
Combs has repeatedly denied. In a December 2023 statement, Combs responded to the claims in all the lawsuits, saying, "Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged."
Oh, yeah?
CNN has reached...
They got him. We got him.
out to representatives for comment.
And he gets the key to the city, he gets all these interviews, he gets all this. Not only this, but Diddy is still on Instagram. Isn't this the craziest part and message? Someone clip this and send this to Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg, owner of Instagram, how are you letting an actual woman beater thrive on your platform with 20 million followers? I was banned for being part of a dangerous organization. You know what's a really dangerous organization? The entire hip-hop industry. Why? Because Diddy has blackmailed all of them on camera in his house, and now he's on camera beating a girl in a towel, swanging with the dogs out in the hotel lobby. And he's still on your platform, and he's not considered a dangerous organization? You have video proof of him doing exactly what everybody accused him of. I'm part of a dangerous organization because I'm pro-Palestine? What dangerous organization am I part of? Hamas? What are you talking about? Because I criticize Israel? Someone, at least Instagram, Meta, explain to me which dangerous organization I'm part of that's worse than anything that Diddy's doing now. Look at him. Posing with the woman that he's beating. Proud, loud and proud. Whose baby is this? Who is this? Who's he calling? Message to YouTube. Let's see if he's still on YouTube. Of course he is. Dressed in a satanic outfit, of course. And it's all covered in red. Look, YouTube. I'm banned on YouTube, on your platform, for violating 2 misinformation policies that are no longer part of your policies. Did he beat a woman on camera and he's still on your platform? Tell me where your morality lies. Tell me, like, do you actually care about your viewers, or are you just trying to hide information, or do you have Did he get you on camera? Does Diddy have your employees in the party? Was that you that he was dragging on the floor? He has more aura. It is what it is. Okay, so this is a mugshot. And I just think, like, physiognomy never lies, right? Physiognomy never lies. This guy actually looks like a walking demon. Something, not just his head shape, not his melon head, not the fact that he probably did things to Justin Bieber and a lot of other people in the industry, just like, but just look at his face. Wood. Don't you see a walking demon? I don't even want to put this up too long. Some people have mug shots that look like album covers. This one just looks like... Someone said Kai Cenat. Okay, you're saying I'm jealous? Diddy some... Oh, man. He looks like you. Does he? No, he doesn't. No, he absolutely does not. And he doesn't look like Fresh. He's just a black guy, bro. Shut up. Shut up. That's a Diddy clone? I don't know. But it's... The hypocrisy is really obvious. But this is what's happening in the industry, and it's getting exposed. All lies are going to be exposed in 2024. That's why I think that it doesn't really matter that I'm getting banned. That isn't... because people are actively going to seek for the truth more and more. And, like, everybody in the industry has ties to these people. You see Herschel Weingrod, the guy that Bradley Martin caught on Vitaly's stream, the Hollywood director. Like, he directed Kindergarten Cop, and now he's sucking kindergarten cock.
Bomboka!
Herschel Weingrod went from Kindergarten Cop to Kindergarten Cock, and all they did was just release more media pieces that made him look good. Everything from Hollywood to hip-hop, everything in the industry, it's all satanic, it's all demonic. They all have ties to Israel, they're all funding genocide, all of it. For example, one of my favorite ones is this. Well, it's not my favorite, but it's just like my favorite example of what's going on. Jewish OnlyFans owner Leonid Ravinsky has been revealed as the biggest owner to AIPAC since October 7th. OnlyFans has given $11 million to Israel lobby. Do you realize what this means, right? Bruh. Do you realize that this means that all the prostitutes who put the Palestine flag in their bio, all they're doing is funding genocide more? This means that every guy that's jerking off looking at these girls and like simping over girls they're never gonna meet, all the online prostitutes that sell their body for $4.99, they are directly funding genocide. $11 million from this. It's everybody involved. I want everybody, think about anybody you know who works in OnlyFans. Think about it right now. In chat, you spam it. I'm not gonna get into it. Think about everybody. Think about this. All the people that work in OnlyFans. Can you remember them all? Name them. They directly fund Israel. Every single one. Fresh. Okay, shut up. He never did that. Think. Sneeko. Okay, bro. All lies are being exposed. Not only this, I think this kind of ties into it. I'm going to get into this too. I saw that Sneeko Updates posted this. Steve will do it goes on a drunk rant about Sneeko to Bradley Martin. His entire life is a lie. Is he cooking? What did Steve will do it say about me? We used to go to the gym together, and you think that if you would, let's see what he has to say.
I'm telling you, Myron's really good, and his Asian friend from China is also really like a master, grandmaster.
Yes, you play with Brad, bro.
Me, Myron,
so speaking of Sneeko being?
Nico.
You know what's so funny about this? See, Brad is talking about playing Overwatch with Myron's Chinese friend, and Steve immediately thinks, Chinese? Sneeko? He's just like you, chat!
Myron,
yeah.
Will Sneeko be there?
No, Sneeko's not. He doesn't play.
Okay. How was that podcast? Did you stand on business with that motherfucker or what?
I asked him about the hypocrisy. Yeah.
What did he say?
You know how people rationalize.
This means that they have this conversation off camera. Did you stand on business? Did you talk about the hypocrisy? They were speaking about this before.
Oh, dude, the guy's a fucking nut job.
Why do you say?
Oh, dude, he's just so phony. And you can't lie to me. Like, bro, the Sneeko thinks he's so much smarter than me to where he can just lie to me. Oh, Steve's dumb, I can lie. Dude, I get vibes and energy. I know when the motherfucker's lying or fucking with me.
Like, lying about what? What was he lying?
Dude, his entire life's a lie. We don't have to get...
My entire life's a lie. Is he cooking? He cooked? He exposed me. What did he expose me for? My entire life's a lie. Can you tell me, like, chat, what am I lying about? Tell me what I'm hiding. I don't know. I want to know. I want to know what the deep conspiracy theory is. I want all lies to be exposed in 2024. Diddy's beating women. The entire Hollywood industry's full of pedos. And Sneeko's a lot. But what? Griffco. What did I do? You know the lie. I don't know. I don't know what I'm lying about. There's more. Steve will do it, tries to convince Bradley Martin that Sneeko's a terrible person. Like,
I'm gonna say it, he's a fake Muslim. On God. I don't give a fuck. He's fake. He's a fake Muslim. That is it. And I know the Muslims, bro. I'm friends with them. He's a fake Muslim, bro. I swear. I don't know why. Like, I don't know if that's his only way to get people to like him or watch him, but he's the most disingenuous, non-authentic guy on the internet. And I'll stand by that, dude. Any day of the week. He is not authentic, disingenuous, liar, and he thinks he's smarter than people. He's really not that smart, dude. So, yeah.
So, did you have...
Bro, it's like we're just listening to men gossip about my life. Like, what is this Twitter space? I want to know the context of this. What is this Twitter space? Was this for, like, everyone to get together and talk about? How did this come about? Doesn't this sound like, you see the movies where, like, women sit around, they're getting the hair dried? Ooh. Oh, Susan, he's fake. He's the worst. I swear, he's the most disingenuous motherfucker I know. And I heard he doesn't call his mom. No! I swear, his entire life's a lie. I heard he got plastic surgery. No, he did not. His lips are fake. Susan, his entire life's a fucking lie.
Have him on the pod, Bradley?
Yeah,
Oh,
I just had him in Myron off.
Oh, we got best podcast ever. Dude, you're talking to a fake phony guy, Brad, and you know it.
Yeah, Brad.
Bro, he's just this Twitter space is Steve trying to convince his friend Brad that I'm a phony, terrible person. Come on, Brad, say it. Fuck Sneeko. Say it, Brad. Come on, man. You know it, dude. Fuck Sneeko.
What kind of vibe did you get off Nico?
Bro,
I mean, he
Brad
didn't
knows
mention
he's
me.
fake. Brad
He
knows
didn't-
he's
he didn't-
fake. Bro, Brad, keep the same energy on. Bro, I'm talking to you guys like we're not even live right now. Keep the same energy, bro. You know he's a phony.
Yeah, so I did listen to this before. I want to play this one more time.
No, keep the same energy, bro. You know he's a phony.
This means that that they talked about this, but I don't think that. I think they had a conversation. I think Brad was probably like is Sneeko really like a real Muslim? And he was probably talking about the fact that he's seen me in the casino before, right? Dana White was there, all the people were there. Or like after the UFC event, I was at the club, right? There was a big party. Sean O'Malley won, and all my friends were there, so I went. Okay, does that make me a perfect Muslim? No, bro. Does that justify like gossiping? No, but I think it's good. In a weird way, I'm trying to see the best in this. I think it's good that guys like this are questioning my faith, because I think it does push them to be better as well. It makes them reflect about their own content that they're putting out there and their own decisions and how they can be better as well. I think that's why they're here, or Steve pretty much is gossiping about this, because seeing me speak about God more and talk about my faith makes them think about how they can be doing better. That's the good and I see it. Like, I'm not upset about this. Okay, Woo from Neon's calling me. Should I pick up?
Oh shit, are you live?
I'm live. What's good, Woo?
Oh, my fault. I'll talk to you later. Oh, I didn't realize you were live.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, let's keep watching.
Come on.
I mean, I question him about that. Like,
But
I
you
said,
know
hypocrisy.
he's a bro. Bro. He's gonna fight, but deep down inside, you know he's a phony. Come on, be real.
Come on.
Come on. You know he's a phony. We don't need to fucking beat the bush here.
It's beat around the bush, Steve.
Like
you don't beat the bush. You beat around. See, beating a bush would.
you're not an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm not an idiot, but obviously no one's perfect, right? Like, there's that reality in it. Like, is he?
No, he's
does
a
he not
phony.
practice?
He's just. It's almost like he's begging Brad to hate me. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is very feminine behavior. I don't think that men should be doing this. I don't think that, especially publicly, this is strange. Like, behind the scenes is one thing, but doing this on a public platform, like publicly saying that I'm a bad person and trying to get people to turn on me, especially like people that I like Brad a lot. It's just very strange behavior, and it's very specific to the entertainment industry, like. And the fact that people do completely attach their value to how many fans they have. You guys see how strange this is, right? And I pointed this out on Brad's podcast because Brad asked me about this. He stood on business, but he asked me a genuine question. He's like, what about the hypocrisy, right? You call yourself a Muslim, which I am. I am a Muslim. I pray every day. I went to Jummah, and you know, I don't like having to talk about this stuff, but it's like people call me, they try to discredit my faith so much that it's like I kind of have to speak about this because this is, if you're a real Muslim, Muslims in here, this is like one of the most insulting things you could say. This is one of the most insulting things you could say to a Muslim, but you know, I'm a revert and I come from this world. These people knew me before I reverted, so it's like, I don't know, they have like this weird hatred. But imagine, for example, like Connor calling Habib a fake Muslim. It's on site. This is what, like, insulting someone's faith there is extremely, extremely disrespectful. So I do have to talk about what I do as well in order to defend my name. Like, do you guys remember during the month of Ramadan when I spent the entire Middle East praying and doing content with sheikhs and students of knowledge? The whole month. I left the country and I met all of the most influential Dawah people. All of them. A couple of streams, I had them all in the same room having real conversations. Not only that, we raised $100,000 for Gaza.
Allahu Akbar!
We raised $100,000 as a community. We got together and we raised $100,000 to feed children in Gaza because zakat is one of the most important pillars of Islam. That's how you get into heaven. And I don't even like want to. The only reason I'm talking about this is because they're trying to say, like, what do they need me to do to prove I'm real? One, I don't care about proving I'm real to people that promote alcohol, gambling. Like I don't give a fuck if they think I'm real or not. It's really the audience and public perception, right? And also for other people to come to Islam well, to know that that it's not something that I'm lying about for views. One, if I was lying about this for views, do you realize how much money I sacrifice? See, the reason that Steve's upset in the first place is because I talk about how I rejected a gambling deal in order to pursue my faith. And that really pisses him off because he took the deal. Because he saw it. He said, I don't really care about that. I'm going to go and promote this to my audience. It doesn't really matter what the consequences are. I said no, and I talk about that frequently. That's why he's mad. I wasn't even talking about him. This originally started when I was talking about XQC. And then he jumped in because he's really upset. And so when I see people talk about it, I really want a lot of people that are interested in religion, I want them to know that they don't have to think that it's like something disingenuous. Like, their faith is something personal. And right, I do speak about it, but for me to be, if I was going to talk about that, I'm sacrificing so much content. If I play music in the stream, they say it's haram. If I free mix with girls, they say it's haram. I can't promote gambling, can't promote, you know how many, chat, I got a deal, I got an offer yesterday. Wallahi, I got an offer yesterday. I'll say it. I got an offer yesterday from Rumble. It's like, hey, do you want to promote Prize Picks? I said no. Prize Picks isn't even specifically gambling. I think it's like sports betting or something, but it goes against what I do. Right? There are a lot of people on Rumble will do it because it doesn't go against, but it just goes against what I believe in. There was another guy I met at UFC 298. He came up to me when I was like walking in the seats. He even tweeted at some of these people. They said, I offered Sneeko a gambling deal, and he said, no, I don't do gambling. That was public. They don't speak about that though. It was just yesterday. I got the deal. I got twice. Wallahi, I got offered gambling deals twice today. The second one was Steak is now doing gambling deals with people that do vlogs on X. Free sauce. The vlogs on Twitter are going to start blowing up a lot. They're making an algorithm. They're changing the UI so that they're starting to compete with YouTube. So you're going to see a lot more vlogs on X. And a lot of the creators that are inside, they know this. They have already made deals with Steak. I was offered, hey, do you want to do a deal with Steak to do vlogs on X? Sorry, I can't do it. I can't do it. You know how much more money I would make from that? I would make a lot. Not all these creators could say the same thing. And I don't say this to be better than them. Like, that's why they hate me. It's because they think I'm saying this to be better than them. I'm saying it so that I can show the people that watch this that there's an alternative. You don't need to sell out completely. You don't need to do that. To become rich and influential, to have an audience that listens to you, you don't need to be you don't need to be a degenerate to do that. Let's keep watching.
Well, I mean, I don't know what the guy does on his personal.
And I thought it was very, stop bragging. I'm not bragging, bro. I'm clearing, all right, I don't care. Mr. Martin says, it's always been so strange to me to hear that people can't stand for something unless they reach some unrealistic perfection. Shaming from lazy, hedonistic quitters. Exactly. This is the dumbest argument. Well, this is the dumbest argument that I see. And Mr. Martin, you pointed out. And so I talked about this on Brad's pod. Brad's like, oh, what about the hypocrisy? You know, I saw you in the casino before. The standard, the criticism is really stupid. No human's going to be perfect. If you want to look for an example of a perfect person, or if you want to look to follow somebody by example completely, look to Prophet Jesus and look to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Those are the only people that you should really look to the prophets. Prophet Jesus, Prophet Muhammad. To look at a Rumble streamer and think that I'm going to be perfect is one of the most infantile arguments to follow. Why would you think that because now that I'm a Muslim, I'm going to be perfect? We're all susceptible to mistakes. And that doesn't discredit it. I see a lot of the non-believers, they always say, well, the reason I'm not religious is because I've met Christians who aren't perfect. If you met Christians that are not perfect, hey, dumbass, look at the Bible. Go to church and pray more. Why would you look to the people that are imperfect and then decide your faith based on those people? We all know that people are going to make mistakes. How stupid is that? Let's keep watching. There's more. It's really. Steve will do an attempt to convince Bradley Martin to hate Sneeko. I hate Sneeko. I'm a Sneeko hater. Let's see.
His social media presence is funny, right?